Pace grounded out to short his first time up. 1-0 ball game. As Carson Moon gets back to work. First pitch is inside, almost hit Pace, who has that right elbow shielded with an elbow guard. The 1-0 pitch. Called it up. So 2-0 to the leadoff man, Emil Pace, playing center field. There's been a lot of tumult in the Poplarville program this year with the coach being fired mid-season. There's a strike, 2-1. And that's never ideal at any level for a team to have to go through coaching changes, in the middle of the year. That one is a soft liner out of play to the left side. 2-2. So the Hornets have had a lot of things to deal with off the field and then try to compete with teams like Purvis and Sumrall and Columbia. That's inside 3-2. It's just been a rough go. Count is full to the leadoff hitter, Emil Pace. He'll be followed by Ty Keys, the fine left fielder for Poplarville. Payoff pitch, and that hit him right in the middle of the back. So Pace is on base. For those of you into rhymes. Karen Thompson is watching tonight. Glad it's finally up and going. Go Bobcats with those blue and yellow hearts. Her better half, well, I don't know, better half. What? Her husband. Let's just put that. Richard sitting here to my left. And our man Germ down in Orlando meeting all the movie stars and hanging out in Disney World. Well, he's working, but I mean, how bad can working in Disney World be, right? So here's Keys. He flew to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. The Hornets have their leadoff man aboard. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Pretty pitch. Now the sun not as problematic to center field. The pitchers are still going to have to deal with it for probably another 10 minutes. But the outfielders are in the clear. Throw over to first, and the runner's back. Hornets lead it 1-0 here in the top of the third inning. Sumrall looking for the sweep. The Hornets are looking for the split. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's in an 0-2 hole now as Keys. Stone County's another team you have to look out for in 4A, past Christiane. There's some teams down the road that no doubt will be on the Bobcat radar when the time is right. But the regular season wraps up a week from tonight. And then the third season for Sumrall begins, the real season, the playoffs. 0-2 pitches fouled into the net. We've talked about how there's kind of three seasons in baseball. The pre-district, where coaches lots of times will move their players around and let guys compete for positions. Then your district season, which determines whether you get to the playoffs. And then, of course, the all-important playoffs, which will decide who the state champion is. 0-2 pitch way outside. The Southern Miss game tomorrow has been moved up to 11 a.m., anticipating some bad weather moving in. And that one hit him on the shoulder. Carson Moon worked in too close. Keaton Malden begins to warm in the bullpen for the Bobcats. And this visit to the mound might just be to buy Keaton some time. But the Hornets have their first two men aboard here in the second inning. Looking to add to a 1-0 lead. So here's Brock Shepard now. He singled his first time up and looks at a strike right down the middle. So Pace is at second, Keys is at first with nobody out here for the Hornets in the top of the third. They lead Sumrall 1-0. Breaking ball, that one's toward the middle. This could be two. Hicks flips to short for one. On to first, a double play. 4-6-3. Lots of ways to help your team win. So Pace advances to third with 2 outs, and it'll be up to Preston Smith to bring him in. You know, this is a Sumrall team that people have said is not going to bang out a bunch of home runs, but they hit the ball. Hawkins dives to his left, gets up, throws in the dirt, and he's beat it out at first base. It was a great play by Hawkins just to be able to make a throw. And it was fielded well by Odom, but on the play, Pace scores, and it's 2-0 Hornets. So it'll go as an infield hit. And here's Peyton Picasso, who doubled to the gap in left center field his first time up. That pitch is low. So the Hornets got their leadoff man aboard in the second inning and scored him. They got their leadoff man in the third inning on and scored him. So the Hornets are being efficient and at least getting that leadoff man to cross the plate. The 1-0 pitch to Picasso, swing and a miss. He was late on the heater. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Hornets, where they say, bring the sting. The Bobcats, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. Swung on, chopper wide of third. So the count goes 1-2. Again, Southern Miss was handling James Madison 5-1 at last report early on. Of course, everyone I'm sure is dying to know how those Tigers are doing tonight, and they are winning a game. Of course, it's only the 5th inning, so let's not get too crazy. The Detroit Tigers I'm talking about. The 1-2 pitch, runner going. Swung on, a little looper into left field. That ball is down for a base hit. Peyton Picasso's second hit of the night. Now has runners at first and second. And Landon Wadley, the catcher, will come to bat. Keaton Malden continues to warm in the Sumrall bullpen. But the Hornets putting the ball in play here. They had no answer for Drew Davis earlier in the week. Of course, very few teams have had an answer for Drew Davis, to be fair. That pitch is outside, ball 1. But they have made good contact tonight, both hard and soft contact, but they have run the bases well enough that they've been able to put a couple runs across. Pickoff play to second base, and the runner's back. Sumrall at Mize on Monday night. Then they travel to Columbia on Tuesday. We know about those for sure. The Hattiesburg game seems to be up in the air. That game is scheduled for Friday because the Tigers have had a lot of district games rained out. They might need to use that Friday to make up some games so that the playoff slate can be completed. So you can always follow us on Sumrall Athletics social media pages for the latest updates. But we do know Mize, at Columbia on Monday and Tuesday night, weather permitting. The 1-1 pitch, low, 2-1. Should Wadley reach, then Braden Babiowski, the pitcher, would come up again. Good crowd on hand, as you would expect on a beautiful Friday night. We mentioned the partios in right field all seem to be pretty full. The 2-1. Low, 3-1. Most of this damage is with 2 outs. Pace led off with a walk. Then Keys grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Preston Smith then singled and put runners at the corners, and then Peyton Picasso singled to get the second run home. So runners at first and second now with 2 away. And the count is 3-1 to Wadley. Moon checks the runners, kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. So the count goes full here. The runners will be off with the pitch here with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. You start the runners, obviously, because it'll either be a walk, a strikeout to end the inning, or a base hit, get an extra jump or 2. Three-man umpiring crew tonight. And the number 6 man on the order for Coach Steve Hilly. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive into the gap in right center. That ball is down. This will score 1 run. Brazil has trouble coming up with it. A second run being waved around. Odom's throw to the plate. He will cut it off. And the Hornets now lead it 4-0. And here comes Andy Davis. We talked about the Hornets putting the bat on the ball. And that'll be it for Carson Moon. A 2-out double. A 2 RBI double for Wadley. It is 4-0 Hornets. As Keaton Malden makes a pitching change. We'll be back in just a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So Keaton Malden has finished his warm-up tosses. And he will face Braden Babiowski here. Malden checks the runner at first, although it's not being held. Swung on, chopper toward third. Hawkins has got it. Will throw to second for the force out, and that'll do it. But the Hornets come up with 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Larry Knight Field. It's Poplarville 4, Sumrall nothing. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel. Back here in Sumrall tonight, Kelly Sander along with Brody Courtney. So far, the news has not been good. The lights are on here at Sumrall, and hopefully the light will go off for the Sumrall Bats. Bobcats trail Poplarville 4-0. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Hornets. 0-3-1 for Sumrall. And Brazil leads off here in the top of the third. He lined out to Ty Keys in left field his first time up. So Babiowski with a 4-run lead. Second pitch is inside, 2-0. Certainly no time to panic, but you would like to see at least the goose egg come off the board. They play Brazil to go the opposite way. 2-0 pitch is a strike on the inner part of the plate. 2-1 now to the leadoff hitter with Landon Holloman on deck and Walker Long to follow him. Scheduled 7 innings tonight. The 2-1 pitch. There's another strike. Same location. So now Brazil will have to use the stick on a 2-2 count. Babiowski from the full windup. The pitch. High and away, 3-2. This would be big if the Bobcats could get Brazil on base somehow, even if it's a walk. Because that's where Poplarville has been effective, is getting their leadoff man aboard. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on into left field, a base hit. It's a great effort by the shortstop, Peyton Picasso, to try to dive to his right to make that stop. But even with the outreach, it was into left and a clean base hit. So one away, check that, a runner on first. And here's Landon Holloman, who walked his first time up. No wind now to speak of, as the Bobcats find themselves behind here against Poplarville, where the Hornets had difficulty scoring any runs the other night. Steve Cooley again coaching third, Richard Broom at first. Brazil can certainly fly. He's not on the move here. This one is swung on and fouled down the right field line. It'll get near the bullpen. And a great effort by the right fielder, Jaden Holden, to try to get over there, but he just ran out of time and room. 1-1 to Landon Holloman. Some are all batting in the bottom of the third inning. Poplarville scored 1 in the second, 3 more in the third. Runner going, and that one's tapped foul. One and 2 the count. Playing him straight away. Holloman, the second man in the order tonight. Throw over to first. That's the first time we've seen Babiowski even throw over to first base. We talked about what a beautiful night it is. We've really lucked out when it's come to weather this year. Runner going. Throw down to second is late. Brazil is there. So nobody out. And a 2-2 count here to Landon Holloman. Of course, it's Sumrall, the turfed infield, the natural grass outfield. The 2-2. Just outside, 3-2. Big pitch coming up for both teams here. Babiowski gets the sign and brings it. Swung on, line right to him. Thrown to second base for a double play. Oh, man, you know things are not going well when something like that happens. He wasn't that far off the bag at second base. You talk about a vibe killer. A line drive there. And then the easy throw back to second base for the double play. Base is empty, 2 outs. And here's Walker Long. First pitch, and Walker Long smokes it into left field for a base hit. So you see by Brazil being doubled up at second. And then Walker Long lacing the single to left. That cost Sumrall a run. But in fairness to Brazil, there was nothing you could do about that. That's just one of those things. So here's Connor Walker. And he singled his first time up. He wound up being forced out at second base. 2 outs. Malik McNair running for the catcher Long now. Malik McNair with those strong legs and very fleet of foot. First pitch is outside to Connor Walker. Ball 1. Cade Clinton is on deck. Bobcats batting in the bottom of the third. No time to panic, but trailing Poplarville 4-0. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Only one district game after tonight, and that's against Columbia. There's a fly ball to left field. Measuring it is Keys, and he's there to make the catch. It looked like he had misread it for a moment, but turned around on the spin and made the catch, and the Bobcats go down in the third. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 man left on base. We've completed 3 here in Lamar County tonight. It's Poplarville 4, Sumrall nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we head to the top of the 4th inning. 8, 9, and 1 will be the hitters to face Keaton Malden. Thanks to our sponsors, High and Tight Gentlemen's Club, one of the guys' favorite places to get haircuts. They sponsor the webcast. So does Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating. Thank them for their support if you ever get the chance. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Winburn Lawn and Landscaping also helps these webcasts get on the air, as does Spencer Nixon and his Alpha Insurance Agency. There's a strike on the corner. 1-1. Jaden Holden, the right fielder. He hit a sacrifice fly his first time up. Of course, that's an RBI. That's outside. 2-1 now to the senior pitcher, Keaton Malden, on the bump here in the 4th. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now to Holden. He'll be followed by Ian McGee. Hornets batting in the top of the 4th. Outside, 3-2. And this whole at bat has been a ball, swing and a miss, ball, swing and a miss, ball. And a foul into the screen that time. So the count stays full at 3-2. Glad that you're with us. Christy Martin and Karen Thompson have checked in. You can as well at 601 3-1-0-7-0-7-7. 3-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball to first base. Odom will handle it himself as he steps on the bag and records the first out of the inning. So with one away, here comes Ian McGee. Batting as the DH for Chase Sones, the second baseman. First pitch from Malden is a strike. That is right there. Keaton Malden, as are most left-handed pitchers, they tend to be finesse pitchers that will work those outside corners, change up speeds, change locations a little bit. That's inside, 1-1. You just don't see many hard-throwing left-handers. Randy Johnson comes to mind years ago. The 1-1 pitch. That's out, 2-1. That's why when I say years ago, Randy Johnson was a hard-throwing left-hander, because there just aren't that many of them. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, there's a shot into right field and a base hit. Gobbled up by Baudouin and thrown into the infield. So they did not get their leadoff man aboard, but they have their second man on in McGee, and they go back to the top of the order in Emil Pace. Pace got plunked his last time up. He grounded out to short in his first at bat, so he's officially 0 for 1. The Bobcats would love another ground ball. Swung on and fouled out of play to our left. The Poplarville Hornets. Again, they have dominated in football. There's a strike. Of course, Columbia has also been good. So tough district in football, just with different teams. Tough in baseball. But Sumrall and Purvis rule the roost in baseball. That's outside, 1-2. Where Columbia and Poplarville are the kings of the hill in football. Throw over to first base. Pace, the leadoff hitter for Coach Steve Milley, who's been called upon to try to hold this program together. Swung on and laced again, foul. That one just missed another car. Boy, people that park along this street over here they might as well go to the Beau Rivage, because they are rolling the dice, baby, over here. That one's going to wind up in the windshield. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. This one is playable. Down the left field line. Clinton going out. Clinton coming in. That ball is a fair ball. A tough play to make. Clinton was coming in. Holloman was going out. Hawkins was also going out. But a ball that you could not have thrown out there any better than that landed looked like about 6 inches inside the line. Now, the good news for Sumrall is McGee couldn't really go too far in case that ball got caught. So it's a single. Runners on first and second now with 1 out. And Ty Keys, the hitter. Strike on the corner. Keys has flown to right and walked. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Real long swing there by Keys. And he's in an 0-2 hole here, and he'll have to hit Malden's pitch. Keaton Malden now ahead in the count, 0-2. You've got a lot more options when you're ahead of the hitter 0-2, as opposed to being behind 2-0. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field. Brazil calls that one and is right there to put it away. Nobody will be able to advance. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. With 2 away now, everybody will be moving on contact, and here comes the number 3 man in the order, Brock Shepard. The first baseman has singled and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. First pitch from Malden is a grounder right back to him. Should be easy on the underhand flip. It is. The Hornets come up with 2 hits, and they strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Hornets 4, the Bobcats nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Braden Babiowski goes out for another inning of work, and he will face Clinton, Hawkins, and Odom in the bottom of the 4th inning, trying to protect a 4-0 lead. So Cade Clinton to lead it off. He's struck out his first time up, so here's his chance to get Babiowski back. First pitch to him is too high, ball 1. There's been no activity as of late in either bullpen. Of course, Babiowski has given up some hits, but the Bobcats haven't been able to string anything together. 1-0 pitch is fouled into the screen. Malden got to work early. Carson Moon was throwing hard. The Hornets were just barreling it up. And that happens sometimes. But the Hornets have played the Bobcats defensively straight away here. 1-1 pitch. Took something off of it, and that's a chopper wide of third. So the count goes 1-2 to Cade Clinton. As we mentioned, he's hitting 5th in the order. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Hornets. No runs, 5 hits, and 1 miscue for the Bobcats on this beautiful Friday night. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled out of play. So Clinton having a good at bat here, regardless of what the end result is. Making Babiowski throw some extra pitches. Babiowski going from the full windup. The 1-2 pitch. Took something off of it, and that one is swept foul to the left side. And Williamson is watching from Petal. Glad to have Ann along tonight. Boy, I don't know if you can see on your, probably can't see, as good as our cameras are, you probably can't see the hamburger haze floating over the field. Just missed it outside. But that aroma of those grilled cooked hamburgers have made their way up to the press box, but you can see that the grill smoke or haze kind of hovering over the field. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. A big at bat here. Again, getting a leadoff man aboard. The payoff pitch. Outside is ball 4. So Clinton is there. And here's Landon Hawkins now. He brings with him a care package with about 6 baseballs in it for the home plate umpire. You have to wonder here if Steve Cooley would even contemplate a bunt here or something just to shake up the Poplarville defense just a little. make them execute, and who knows what might happen. So a new count. That ball gets away from the catcher. Now you don't have to bunt him over because Clinton is at second base. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the fourth. Now Babiowski will go from the stretch with that runner on. Next pitch is fouled out of play to the right side. Clinton had a good at bat, kept himself in it by fouling off some of those pitches. We talked about a good at bat. It always doesn't necessarily mean you have to hit a single or a double, but he ruined some good pitches and then found his way on base via the walk. That pitch is high, 2-1 now to Hawkins, who grounded out to first base his only other time at bat. Bobcats head to Mize on Monday night, and we'll have it for you. 2-1 pitch. High, 3-1. And still no activity in the Poplarville pen. You'd have to think that even as good as Babiowski has been, if he walks this guy, which he didn't, but again, it's fouled out of play. Bobcats are hanging in there. Again, ruining good pitches and making Babiowski throw more pitches, which is more wear and tear on that arm. So Hawkins gets back to work here now with a 3-2 count. The pitch swung on, a little chopper out toward first. Babiowski underhands on the flip. Runner advances to third, but there's one away. And that'll bring up Leo Odom, who drilled a double to center field his last time. He nearly knocked it out of the ballpark. So that certainly buys Babiowski some time or extra outs. First pitch to Odom is swung on and fouled into the screen. Braden Babiowski on the mound for the Hornets. He is the starter and has been there the whole game. The 0-1, that bounced up there. Nice job, really, by the catcher. Credit Landon Wadley for blocking that up. 1-1 the count. Sumrall has its first run at third base. Next pitch, there's a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Odom thought about maybe heading to second, but when you're behind, you don't take any chances. That's an RBI one-out single for Odom. And here's Tyson Hicks. So 4-1 ball game. The Bobcats are on the scoreboard. Odom having him a night, a double and a single and an RBI. And here comes Hicks, hitting 8th in the order. Hampton Baudouin on deck. Hornets got 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and the Bobcats just got their first one here in the fourth. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Poplarville. 1-6-1 for Sumrall. There's a strike. 0-1 to Hicks. Hicks getting to swing the bat for himself, pushes a bunt down third base line, and it just goes foul. Boy, that had the makings of an infield hit, and that side spin just carried it foul. And you talk about gambling. Preston Smith, the third baseman, kind of gave it a look and then saw that ball slowly start to tail and laid off of it. So 0-2 now to Hicks. as he digs in. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled out of play to the left side. So the Bobcats fouling some pitches off. But still 0-2 to Hicks. The 0-2 pitch outside, ball one. Again, Richard Broom coaching down at first. Coach Cooley at third tonight. The 1-2 swung on, fouled again. Hicks staying alive here. And again, these are good at bats because you don't know what the Hornets necessarily have in the bullpen, but with the more pitches you can make the starter throw, the quicker he'll tire. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Snap throw to first, and the runner is back safely. Odom almost got himself rung up over there. So 2 outs with a runner at first. And here's Hampton Baudouin. Really, when you think about it, Brock Shepard, the first baseman, I don't think he was expecting the throw. Had he been expecting the throw, Odom would have been a dead duck. First pitch to Baudouin is high, ball one. And you just sense that Poplarville is starting to get a little bit of confidence, it looks like, as this game goes on. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled out of play again to the right side. Boy, if none of these baseballs are returned, the Sumrall Athletic Department probably has spent $1,000 tonight on baseballs. I mean, they're fouling out all over the place. 1-1 the count to Baudouin with Brazil on deck. Bobcats batting in the bottom of the fourth inning, trailing 4-1. That pitch is outside, 2-1. That might have been the hardest pitch that Babiowski has thrown all night. Braden Babiowski. The 2-1 pitch. High again. Another snap throw to first. Runner back. Three and one, so Baudouin can be sitting on fastball here. As Babiowski doesn't want to walk him. I just have to take his chances with the heater. There it is. And it's low, ball four. So a 2-out walk. Has runners on first and second now. With Brazil up, who singled his last time to the plate. And now time is called. The Hornets might want to talk this over. They also, Babiowski's pitch count has got to be getting up there as well. Runners on first and second for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Trailing 4-1, but remember it takes 3 outs in an inning. And the Bobcats have turned the batting order back over. Southern Miss leading James Madison 6-5 in the top of the 6th inning. Game 1 of that 3-game series at P. Taylor Park. And here's Brazil now with Odom at second. Baudouin at first. The first pitch is high, ball one. Now as Babiowski labors just a little bit. Losing first pitch focus, getting behind the hitters. That's 2-0 now. And it's only natural that when you've thrown a lot of pitches that you'll tire a little bit. So important to get that first pitch over the plate. And then the hitter has to hit your pitch. And now Brazil on 2-0 again can sit on fastball here. The 2-0 pitch. Strike on the corner. Came back to the inner half of the plate. Runners will be going on contact with 2 outs. Sumrall scored 1 here in the fourth, looking for more. The 2-1 outside, 3-1. Poplarville folks on the umpire, that wasn't close. It was way out. 3-1 the count to Barrett Brazil with Landon Holloman hoping that he gets another shot. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to second base. Fielded and snagged, throws to first, and the runner is out at first. So the Bobcats strand 2, but are able to come up with 1 run on 1 hit. We've completed 4 here at Larry Knight Field. It's the Hornets 4, the Bobcats 1. Back in just a moment. So the Hornets will send up hitters 4, 5, and 6 to face Keaton Malden here in the top of the 5th inning with a 4-1 lead. Preston Smith reached on a fielder's choice, singled and scored. He's also got an RBI to his credit. First pitch to him is a high fly ball to center field. Coming in, Brazil is there waiting on it and puts it away for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th. And Peyton Picasso will come to the plate. This has been the guy has done the most damage to the Bobcats tonight. He doubled and scored in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 3rd. And here he is in the 5th, nobody on base. But he has been a nemesis. He's been a problem for the Bobcats tonight here. First pitch from Malden is outside, ball 1. Keaton Malden, a senior, gosh, it's hard to believe as we get to the middle of April. Graduation's about, 4 weeks away. Hard to believe. 1-0 pitch is low, 2-0. You know, this new quote-unquote year-round school that Lamar County has, with school starting in July, it still goes by quickly. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. And defensively, Hawkins at 3rd, Holloman at short, Hicks at 2nd, and Odom at 1st. There's a drive to center field. Well hit, but right there is Brazil again for out number 2. Peyton Picasso has been impressive the way that he has made contact tonight with the ball. 2 up and 2 down, and here's Landon Wadley, the catcher. He has popped to second base and singled. But the last single that he hit garnered the Hornets 2 runs and doubled the run total to 4. First pitch to him is a strike on the corner. Keaton Malden, a finesse control pitcher, will throw strikes and then rely on his defense. 0-1 pitch. That's low. 1-1. Looking ahead to the Bobcat fifth, it'll be hitters 2, 3, and 4. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, slapped towards second base. Hicks tried to get it, but it was a base hit all the way. Even had he gotten there, it was unlikely he was going to be able to make a play. That's a base hit in the book for Wadley. And the catcher will get a courtesy runner with 2 outs. And Braden Babiowski will come up and hit for himself here. Not likely that even a courtesy runner would steal with the left-hander Malden looking right at him. Babiowski has singled and reached on a fielder's choice, so he's put the ball in play both times. Keaton Malden on in relief of Carson Moon. Not a lot of pitching changes tonight. I mean, there's only been 2 pitchers for Sumrall, and the starter for the Hornets is still in there. And it's this guy hitting, Babiowski. 2 outs, runner on first. Here in the swung on up the middle, and it is Holloman who snags it and steps on second base to retire the side. Landon Holloman showing again that great defensive play. And the Hornets do come up with 1 hit, and they strand a man with no runs. We go to the bottom of the 5th here in Sumrall tonight. It's the Hornets 4, the Bobcats 1. Back in just a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Kelly Sander and Brody Courtney back in Sumrall. Babiowski goes back out for another inning of work here in the 5th as he will face Holloman, Long, and Walker in a 4-1 game. Holloman has walked and lined out to the pitcher, and it was that unfortunate line out to the pitcher that had Brazil leaning off of second base, and they doubled him up. So Babiowski from the full windup kicks and delivers. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Bobcats having to battle from behind here. That's outside. And again, I don't know that we have a pitch count for Babiowski, but it's a lot. Righty versus righty here. The bottom of the 5th inning. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Holloman, no doubt, was on the take all the way. And now he'll have to get to work. Poplarville has played Sumrall straight up the whole game. Swung on, chopper towards short. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first is in time, one away. Doesn't get much more tailor-made than that. But all you can do is put the bat on the ball and force the defense to make plays. And here's Walker Long. He has popped out to the catcher and singled. He's 1 for 2. '89 pitches in the book so far for Babiowski. Getting ready, and there is pitch 90. Strike on the corner. But you just can't help but sense that the Hornets are kind of feeling themselves a little bit here, especially after the way the Bobcats ran roughshod over the Hornets earlier this week. 1-1 the count. Swung on. This one's popped right straight over our heads. We're located, probably 25 feet above home plate. We are right over home plate. Walker Long with that right foot on the back chalk line. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed. Tried to get him to chase and almost got him to, but had the discipline to lay off. 2-2 now to the Sumrall catcher. The line score 4-9-0 for the Hornets, 1-6-1 for the Bobcats. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Swung on toward third. Snagged, and throw to first is in time. What a play at third base by Preston Smith. I thought that ball had eyes on it for left field. And then comes up and throws across the diamond. 2 up and 2 down for Sumrall here in the 5th. And here's Connor Walker. First pitch is high, ball 1. You do get a truer hop on the turf. But Preston Smith with a fine play at third. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenged Connor Walker with a heater there. And the count goes 1-1. So Babiowski climbing up to that 100 pitch mark. Outside, 2-1. Base is empty, 2 outs here for the Rawlers. In the bottom of the 5th, trailing Poplarville 4-1. A lot of the different services around, Perfect Game and Scorebook Live and Max Preps and so on, had the Hornets with a record of 5-7 coming into this one, but that means they would have only played 12 games. They certainly have played more than that. Babiowski a little dejected. He thought that pitch was there. 3-1 the count to Connor Walker. Swung on. Here's a high drive to center field. That ball is well hit but playable. Measuring it in center field and making the play is Emil Pace. The Bobcats go up and down 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. A quiet bottom of the 5th. And they trail Poplarville 4-1. We go to the top of the 6th in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be hitters 8, 9, and 1 to face Keaton Malden. Jaden Holden, the right fielder, he's got a sacrifice fly and a ground out. As Keaton Malden has kept Poplarville in check here. But the Sumrall Bobcat bats just have not been able to generate much. That's outside, ball 1. Ian McGee is on deck, and then they turn the order and go back to Emil Pace at the top. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. The outfield for Sumrall, Cade Clinton in left. Brazil's been busy tonight in center. And Baudouin in right. The 1-1. Breaking ball strike. He knew it. So 1 and 2 to the leadoff hitter, Jaden Holden. One of the things we mentioned Poplarville's done well is getting their leadoff man on. And when the Bobcats have been able to keep the leadoff man off, here's a slow roller to second. Easy play for Hicks, and there's one away. But when the Hornets have been able to get the leadoff man on, that's when they have done the damage. They've been able to get them over and then eventually score them. Here's Ian McGee with a man out. First pitch to him is off the plate, ball 1. Sumrall will have Clinton, Hawkins, and Odom, the scheduled hitters, up in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-0. Low, 2-0 now. Sumrall plenty deep in pitching talent. You have to wonder what the Hornets would go with because Babiowski is up near 100 pitches now. There's a strike. 2-1 to Ian McGee, hitting for the second baseman, Chase Sones. The 2-1 from Malden. Swung on. Here's a drive toward right center field. Baudouin moving over to his right. He's able to glove it for out number 2. Nice read by Baudouin, moving to his right. So bases empty, 2 away, and back to the top of the order in Emil Pace. Keaton Malden has done a good job tonight. It's not like he hasn't given up hits, but he's been within himself and hasn't walked anybody. Walks, never a good thing. That pitch is outside. I think Walker Long thought that was a... Connor Walker, I think, thought that last one was a strike. Andy Davis now coming to talk to the home plate umpire. And I think the reason the home plate umpire did what he did is because Walker Long was making some gestures that he thought those pitches were strikes, and the umpire, as a way of showing his displeasure with Walker Long's body language, shall we speak, is he kind of went and cleaned a carpet home plate. Here's the 1-0. Fouled into the screen, 1-1. And I think Andy Davis kind of sensed that something was up, and that's when he came out. And when the umpire and Andy Davis talked, then Andy Davis said something to his catcher, Walker Long. So I think that's probably what transpired. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The 1-1 outside, 2-1. Good frame job by Walker Long. Walker's got to be careful back there. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now. Pace has grounded to short. He's walked and singled, so he's been on 2 out of the 3 times. He's also scored a run. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2. That has been, and I know the Sumrall folks are upset, that has been a ball all night long. All you want is an umpire that's going to be consistent. And from our point of view, he has been. Payoff pitch, 3-2. That's low, ball 4. Now here comes Andy Davis again. Walker Long immediately when that pitch was thrown and it was called ball 4, Walker Long kind of reacted like it was a strike and that he was ready to get off the field. And then the umpire once again said something. So obviously we're not lip readers and don't know what was said, but there's something brewing behind home plate between Walker Long and the home plate umpire. And Walker Long then called timeout, maybe to go out to talk to his pitcher so he himself can calm down a little bit. Andy Davis taking as much time as a home plate umpire will give him. But Pace, the long and the short of it is that Pace is at first base with 2 outs. And so now the umpire will come and break this up. And Andy Davis saw that he was coming. They continue to commune as they walk back to that line. And you can tell by Walker Long's body language with his hand on his hip like that he's not real pleased. But as Judge Judy says, there's only one opinion that counts. And here's Ty Keys now. He's only been on once, a couple of fly outs and a walk. So Malden back to work. Breaking ball and a beauty in there. It's the thing about Keaton Malden that I really, really respect. Keaton Malden could be ahead by 7 runs or be behind by 7 runs, and you'd never know. He's so composed and so within himself. The 0-1 pitch outside. 1-1. He has a terrific pitching demeanor. 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and out of play, fouled down the right field line. Southern Miss at last report was beating James Madison 7-5. Game 1 of that series. That's in the 7th inning at Pete Taylor Park. Game 2 of that series has been bumped up to 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in anticipation of rain moving in. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pace, the runner at first base. Throw over to first. Just barely back in time. Walker Long headed back to the dugout again. He is really wanting to get back in that dugout. The Hornets trying to extend a 4-1 lead. The throw again over to first base. Boy, going back to the lefties like Chandler Massengale here at Sumrall, the lefties have always had just great moves to first base. The 2-2 pitch, outside and high, 3-2. So now Pace will be off with the pitch. Payoff pitch coming with 2 outs. Swung on and laced into the football field foul. I don't know. The runner was not going with the pitch, and I don't understand why. Because it's 3-2 with 2 outs, and I think Pace got reprimanded. Now he's going. 3-2 pitch swung on, a little grounder to first. Odom will handle it himself, and that does it. So the Hornets strand a man, but no hits in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Bobcats got to get going. They trail 4-1, and we'll see what Clinton, Hawkins, and Odom have for the Hornets when we return for the bottom of the 6th in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So time to get to work for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Our webcast made possible by sponsorships from the Landry Lewis and Germany architect firm, Kids Campus Learning Center, Kids Campus with K's, Kids Campus Learning Center, Watts Brothers Implements, and American Graphics. We thank them for their support of our webcasts. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Cade Clinton, who has struck out and walked. He's also scored the only Sumrall run. Babiowski back out there. Nearing the 100 pitch count. There's a strike. 1-1 to the leadoff hitter. The 1-1. That missed low, 2-1. Clinton, Hawkins, and Odom. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. Scooped up at first, and there's one away. Remember, Poplarville has a turf infield, so they're used to the hops of a turf infield and have made just about every play. Hawkins has grounded to first and grounded to the pitcher. He's 0 for 2. First pitch from Babiowski is right down the tube for strike 1. No wind to speak of, never has been. All night, been a very pleasant night. 0-1 pitch is high. 1-1. Some are all wearing their military night camo jerseys. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's a fly ball toward right field, and it is caught in right. Reaching up to make that grab is Jaden Holden. 2 up and 2 down, and here's Leo Odom. Odom is having himself a night. He has doubled and singled. He's got an RBI, the only run of the night that has come across was because of Odom's hit. Babiowski from the full windup. Swung on, and this one is fouled out of play down the right field line. That should get into the Sumrall bullpen, and that's exactly where it winds up. I mean, if you got to chase a foul ball, at least it's right there contained, right? Just go pick them all up in the bullpen. Malik McNair has picked up a stick to bat for Tyson Hicks. Should the Bobcats get that far. Base is empty, 2 outs here in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Remember last inning, Babiowski had hit the 90 pitch mark, and he's back out there again. The 1-1. Swung on. There's a base hit. Odom has a 3-hit night as he slaps it right up the middle for a 2-out single. But can the Bobcats get him around? Here's Malik McNair now. Malik hitting for Hicks. Now, Baudouin is still in the on-deck circle. He's scheduled to go up there next. Umpire taking care of some paperwork before McNair will get up there to take his shot against Braden Babiowski. The starter for Poplarville is still in there here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to McNair, swing and a miss. And that may have been the hardest pitch he's thrown all night long, and it's here in the 6th inning. The 0-1, swung on, grounded to second. Throw to first base, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We go to the 7th inning here in Sumrall tonight. It's Poplarville 4, Sumrall 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So here we go. The seventh inning, Keaton Malden still out there. And why not? He's done a great job at keeping the Hornets at bay. Brock Shepard, the first baseman, leads it off here. He has singled, grounded into a double play, and grounded to the pitcher. He's 1 for 3, and the first pitch from Malden is on the left outside corner for a strike. Second pitch misses outside, ball 1. So 1-1. To Shepard, there's a strike, 1-2 now. Base is empty. Leadoff hitter here in the 7th. 1-2 pitch, got a piece of it and put it into the screen. So the count remains 1-2 to Brock Shepard. 3, 4, and 5. Malden facing the meat of the order here for Poplarville in the top of the 7th inning. The Hornets have made some good plays in the infield in particular tonight. But again, they're used to that turf because they have it at their field. That's into the screen. The count stays 1-2. The Bobcats normally would have the district season over tonight, but because of that one game with Columbia, they still have to play it. That's outside, 2-2. So Tuesday night is when that game will be played down in Columbia. Mize on Monday night in Smith County. 2-2 pitch. There's a little golf shot into center field, a leadoff single. And that's what the Hornets have been doing so well tonight, is getting their leadoff man aboard. Now, Malden has done a good job of minimizing the damage. In fact, they don't have a run off of Malden. But here's Preston Smith, the third baseman. Swung on. There's a shot. Look out. And a bunch of Hornets were hovering around the nest there, the Hornets' nest, and tagged a couple of his own teammates over there. This is a big at bat here by Preston Smith because Peyton Picasso, the next guy, has wreaked havoc on Sumrall pitching tonight. Breaking ball missed low, 1-1. Looking ahead to the 7th inning for the Bobcats. Baudouin, then the top of the order. The 1-1, low, 2-1. Bobcat bullpen is beginning to loosen. Here's the 2-1. Low, 3-1. Malden now trying to collect himself here. He knows Picasso on deck has had a night. Swung on. Here's a slow roller to short. Only play is at second, on to first. A double play! I thought that ball was too slowly hit to be able to turn a double play, but the key to it was Holloman flipping the ball out of his glove directly. So 6-4-3. How about that? Here's Peyton Picasso now with the bases empty. Great play again by Holloman. Swing and a miss. Picasso hitting 5th in the order, but the way that he's hit the ball tonight, he might get to jump up a notch or two. Breaking ball. Here's a drive to left field, playable. Cade Clinton has an eye on it and has it for the third out. Fly ball to left for Peyton Picasso. So no runs on one hit, no errors, nobody left. Last chance, 7th for the Bobcats. 9, 1, and 2 are the Bobcat offerings in the order. Babiowski coming back out for the 7th, and we'll have it for you in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Bobcats on the web, also brought to you by American Graphics, courtesy of Stan Welburn. The professionals at Real South Hunting and Diversified Forestry Management. Diversified Forestry Management has been there since about day one. So if you are in the need for their products, goods, and services, we hope that you will use our sponsors and let them know how much you appreciate them bringing Sumrall Bobcat baseball on the internet. So here's Baudouin to lead it off against Babiowski. First pitch is low, ball one. The Hornets trying to pull the upset tonight here at Sumrall. The 1-0 pitch. Low, 2-0. Babiowski, you know, has got some adrenaline going here, even though he has thrown a lot of pitches. The 2-0 pitch, that's there. So now Baudouin will get to work. But you'd think he could still be sitting on fastball here, because it make a person earn a base. That's outside, 3-1. The Bobcats have been in spots like this before and have always had an answer, seemingly. 3-1 pitch, strike two. And Baudouin may have been on the take. Big pitch here. Can the Bobcats get their leadoff man aboard somehow, some way? The 3-2. And it hit him. So they do have a man aboard. We have not seen anybody warming at all in the Poplarville bullpen at any time during the night. So here's Brazil. He's 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch to him is a strike. Bobcats have got to get, obviously, 3 to keep this thing going. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. And again, from where we're sitting, right above home plate, we can see in and out. We can't see up and down, you know, high or low very well, but there's strike two. And the Bobcats may be getting the signal, look, this guy's throwing a lot of pitches. Make him throw strikes to you. Here's the 1-2. Missed, 2-2. He's working quickly, is Babiowski. 122 pitches right now. 2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled out of play. So Brazil stays alive. Nowhere near the record of an Oak Grove pitcher one year that threw 160-some pitches in 28-degree temperatures early in the year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barrett Brazil at the top of the order. Swung on. Here's a little flare out to left field. That's a base hit. Runners on first and second and nobody out. So do the Bobcats have some magic here? And Babiowski, after now about 125 pitches, is done for the night. And it looks like the third baseman, Preston Smith, I think, is the guy who will come in to face. I think they're going to make a pitching change here. Yeah, he's coming out. What a performance, though. Win, lose, or draw. What a performance by Braden Babiowski. Now, will he stay in the game at third base? He will. So Preston Smith comes in to try to finish it up, but the Bobcats have got something cooking here in the 7th. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So Preston Smith, the third baseman, he and Bobcats will just switch positions. The line score for Poplarville, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For Sumrall, 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error. Here's Landon Holloman. A bunt really doesn't make sense here because 2 runs doesn't do you any good. You need 3. This will be his first look at Preston Smith. Ball 1. Runners obviously in a force situation on a ground ball. Second pitch is outside, 2-0. So Preston Smith on in relief of Braden Babiowski. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. So now Holloman's got to get to work. You would think that Preston Smith is overwhelmingly a fastball pitcher. 2-1 pitch. Too high, 3-1. The Bobcats, who have been lifeless, have got a pulse here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second, no outs, and there's ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Walker Long. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? A long ball would end this game. Will they make another move here? Interesting that only after having faced 1 hitter, they made the change to bring in Preston Smith. But now there is no empty base. So walks constitute runs. Walker Long, who obviously can hit the long ball, is up to bat with nobody out. Can the Bobcats pull it out of the fire here in the bottom of the 7th inning? Again, they had flatlined most of the game, but they've got a pulse now. And Walker Long, who has a single to his credit in 3 at-bats, comes up to bat. First pitch is a strike. Walker Long was probably on the take. Big pressure here for Preston Smith. Going from the full windup. The 0-1 pitch. Inside. 1-1. The defense has Walker Long played straight away. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Preston Smith, who's struggling just a little bit with control. You'd think that he'll be bringing nothing but fastballs. Walker Long can get one that he likes. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, and that ball is chopped foul. So 2-2 the count. Connor Walker is on deck. Tying run is at first base, and Landon Holloman, the winning run, is at the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. No place to put him. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Swung on. Here's a high pop-up. This is a tough play. Who's going to call for it? It's in left field. Here comes the throw to the plate, which is right on the money by the left fielder, Ty Keys, and no one can go anywhere. One away. And here comes Connor Walker now. Can the Bobcats find a way? First pitch from Smith. Outside, ball one. Connor Walker has singled. He has lined to left and flown to center. So he's put the ball in the outfield. 2 of his 3 at-bats. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1. Where are the runners? Baudouin is at third. Brazil at second. Holloman at first. The 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Cade Clinton is on deck. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Sumrall trails by 3 here in the 7th. 2-1 pitch. That gets away from the catcher. Here comes a run. It's a 4-2 ball game. And everybody else moves up a station. Now the tying run is at second. And another timeout. And they'll make another pitching change here. So the Hornets going to the bullpen again. We'll sort it out for you. But the Bobcats battling here in the bottom of the 7th inning back after this timeout. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Caden Muna, M-U-N-N-A, in for the Hornets. And he is facing a 3-1 count to Connor Walker. Now, first base is open after that pass ball. So even if a walk happens, he'd get to Cade Clinton at least. 4-2 baseball game now. 3-1 the count to Connor Walker. So you have to wonder if he'll be on the take here or not. As Caden Muna swung on, here's a drive and caught in center field. Throw to the plate is off the mark. It's a 4-3 game as the sacrifice fly plates Brazil. But Holloman had to hold at second. So 2 away. And it's up to Cade Clinton. Holloman with great wheels and with 2 outs will be off on any contact. The Hornets trying to pull the major upset. First pitch is ball 1. Caden Muna's first pitch was driven to center. And you got to give Emil Pace in center kudos because that was a low line or one of the toughest balls to field as an outfielder. But he made the play. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 to Clinton. He has struck out, walked, and grounded to short. 4-3, Poplarville. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Tying run at second. The 1-1 pitch. Called it high. 2-1. Really not a whole lot that can happen here other than just let the players play it out. 2-1 pitch. There's a drive and a left field, a base hit. That ball is down. The run will score. On to second is Cade Clinton, and the Bobcats have tied it at 4. This crowd has erupted. They just seemingly know how to do it, don't they? 4-4 ball game, and here comes Hawkins now. Hawkins is due. He's grounded to the pitcher, grounded to first, and flown to right. Winning run is at second base. First pitch to him. Breaking ball away. Ball 1. How many times have you seen, on the rare instance that the Bobcats get behind, they find a way? The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Hawkins trying to get any type of seeing eye hit. No need for Clinton to hesitate at all. The 1-1 pitch. Runner going to third. Throw to third. Safe. Now a pass ball would win it. Two and 1 the count to the hitter, Hawkins. The corner man at third. Babiowski gets pulled in. That missed inside, 3-1. If Hawkins gets on, then it'd be up to Odom, and he is 3 for 3 tonight. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2, that's there. And really, Hawkins doesn't matter. As a runner, if he's on, he doesn't matter. The runner at third means everything. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to left field. Being measured in left, and we are going extra innings tonight at Larry Knight Field. The Bobcats came up with the 3 that they needed to tie, but it wasn't enough to secure it here. Keaton Malden comes back to work, and we go back to work in the top of the 8th after this timeout. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So for Poplarville, it'll be Wadley Babinowski and Holden. He's got a couple of singles tonight with a pop out to second. First pitch for Malden is ball one as we have some activity in the Sumrall bullpen. The 1-0 pitch. Outside again, 2-0. So the Bobcats come back to get 3 to tie it. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike to Wadley, hitting 6th in the order. He'll be followed by Babiowski and Holden. The 2-1 pitch. Outside again. And lefties, as we've talked about before and documented, when that front shoulder comes just even the slightest bit open, they have a tendency to miss outside. And they're giving him, he was not in the batter's box. And they gave him ball 4. Time wasn't called that I know of. But Wadley is at first. He gets a courtesy runner. And here's Babiowski. Babiowski has put the bat on the ball all 3 times. He has singled and reached on a couple of fielders' choices. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Walker Long again with that hesitant throw back to the pitcher. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and there is a loop into second base, or over second base. Thought about going to third, but then holding up was Wadley. So runners on first and second now, no outs. And Andy Davis has come to the mound, and he is taking the ball from Keaton Malden. The Bobcats making a change here, but the Hornets making some noise in the top of the 8th inning. We're still tied at 4. We'll set the stage for you when we come back in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So it's Dr. Jack Miller on for the Bobcats here in the top of the 8th inning. The Hornets started the inning. Wadley got a walk. Babioski, a little soft liner to center that dropped, has put runners on first and second. Nobody out. And Jaden Holden, the number 8 man in the order, is up. And he'll face now a right-hander in Dr. Jack Miller. Holden has a sacrifice fly and an RBI. He's grounded to first, grounded to second. They are looking for bunt. And that's why Miller backed off of the mound. The Hornets look like they are perfectly satisfied with letting the Bobcats know they're going to bunt. But we'll see if they execute it or not. The pitch. There's a strike on the corner. Holloman is in almost right on top of the hitter. Hicks has shifted over to the shortstop position. Don't overrun it here. Now lays off of it. 1-1 to Jaden Holden. Ian McGee, the designated hitter, is on deck. Poplarville batting in the top of the 8th in this 4-4 game. What a game it has been. The 1-1. Outside. 2-1. Is Miller in these camouflage uniforms wearing Drew Davis's number, 8. So again, these camouflage unis, there's been some switching around. Here's the 2-1. He attempted it and missed it. 2-2 now. Boy, the art of bunting with a lot of teams, not saying that's the case here, but with a lot of teams, it's a lost art because very few teams bunt anymore. 2-2 pitch, and he went around, strike 3. So Miller delivers the strikeout. And here's McGee now. McGee has grounded to short, singled, and flown to right. Poplarville with runners on first and second with 1 out. First pitch is low, ball 1, low and inside. McGee and then the top of the order. The Bobcats have turned a couple of double plays tonight, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 7th. They would love to roll another one here. The 1-0 pitch. Strike from Jack Miller. Dr. Jack, they like the way he operates. And he's on the operating table right now called the pitcher's mound. With a 1-1 count to the number 9 hitter. There's another one. 1-2 at the knees. So Miller seems to have found a groove here. A ball and 2 strikes to Ian McGee. The pitch. Swung on and fouled straight over our heads to stay 1-2. We talked about Miller wearing Davis's number. Of course, Davis was the winner in Game 1 earlier this week, but the Hornets have been more swarming tonight than they were in Game 1. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down, blocked well by Walker Long. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the DH, Ian McGee. Strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner right at the knees. And down he goes. So 2 away. In the top of the order, Emil Pace. Pace has walked a couple of times. He's singled and grounded out. He's 1 for 2 officially. Now the Hornet runners will be off on any contact. And now time is called at the plate. Southern Miss has beaten James Madison 8-7. in Game 1 at Pete Taylor Park. Game 2 of that series has been moved to 11 o'clock tomorrow. Cross Sibley from Sumrall through 3 1/3 tonight for the Golden Eagles. That pitch is low. They have to be careful with pace. Keys, the number 2 man in the order, has not really hurt Sumrall tonight. It's been Pace, Smith, Picasso, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled into the screen. The runner at second base was Wadley. He's got a courtesy runner there. Babiowski at first with 2 outs. The 1-1. Check swing. Did he go? They said he didn't go, but honestly, I don't think he was looking. Two and 1 the count to Pace. And that's enough to ignite the Sumrall fan base. Here's the 2-1. That's low, 3-1. So Miller will have to work from behind here now. And Pace, knowing that the count is 3-1, that he should read fastball and adjust for the change. We'll see how Miller plays it here. 3-1 pitch, inside, ball 4. It was well inside, so it's a walk. Bases are juiced, full of Hornets, and Ty Keys comes to the plate. And again, Keys has not been a problem from the offensive side. He's made some good plays defensively. He has flown to right, flown to center, walked, and grounded to first. So he's officially 0 for 3. Bases full of Hornets. First pitch is a strike on the corner. Going from the full windup, Dr. Jack Miller, the 0-1 pitch. Low. 1-1. The Sumrall fan base in particular has been pretty quiet up until now. They are into this game. The 1-1 pitch, way outside. 2-1. Miller needs to stay composed here because there is no place for a walk. The 2-1 pitch, tapped foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ty Keys hitting second in the order. The Bobcats want to take care of Keys because Shepard, Smith, and Picasso, the next 3 hitters, have been troublesome. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Dr. Jack Miller. Swung on, chopper to third. Force out at third. And Miller closes the door. The Bobcats will come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. When we return in a moment, this is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So the first baseman, Brock Shepard, comes in now, and he will face Odom, Hicks, and Baudouin in the bottom of the 8th as the Bobcats try to pull one out of the fire. They really, to be quite honest, were a little bit listless until that 7th inning and almost won it in regulation. The line score, 4 runs, 11 hits for the Hornets. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for Sumrall. Odom, Hicks, and Baudouin are hitters 7, 8, and 9. But Odom has a 3-for-3 night, and he'll be the first guy to face Shepard. With all the trials and tribulations that the Hornet program has been through this year, they have to, regardless of what happens tonight, they have to feel good about, a little bit better about themselves right now. Odom comes to bat. First pitch to him is a ball. Brock Shepard, a lefty on the hill. The 1-0 pitch, outside, 2-0. Shepard kind of looks to the dugout like, what have you done to me here? Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. Now, McNair hit for Hicks last time, but Hicks back in the circle. But you got a left-handed hitter now. Outside, 3-1. But if Odom were to reach in any way, shape, or form, you would almost bet the mortgage that Hicks would be bunting. The 3-1. Not sure where that one was, but ball 4 was the call. Now, Andy Davis has got a runner in for Odom, and they are talking things over here with Hicks. You got to feel pretty good about the Bobcat chances here. And this game has a lot of implications because if Sumrall were to lose this game and Purvis went out, then the Tornadoes, there would be no tiebreaker. Purvis would be the district champion. So everybody has learned their lines. It's time for the curtain to rise on this drama. Lights, camera, and action, Tyson Hicks. Hicks singled and struck out. Showing bunt. It's outside. Trying to steal. Throw to second. And the runner is out at second base. What a throw by Landon Wadley. Now, this completely changes the complexion of things. Now Hicks will have to be up there swinging for a hit against the lefty, and there is a strike. Sumrall will head to Mize on Monday night. That one's outside. Shepard has got to come set for a full second. I'm not sure that he is. He goes. Three and one now, the count. So Hicks may not have had to bunt, as it turned out, but we'll see how this plays out. It's low, ball 4, and there you go. So now Hicks is there with one out. And here's Hamp Baudouin. The bunt strategically may be off the table because there's one out. You've got Baudouin, a right-handed hitter, against the left-handed pitcher, Shepard, who has walked the only two men that he's faced. So Baudouin maybe should be on the take here. We'll see how Steve Cooley and Andy Davis play it here. There's a balk on the pitcher. And again, he didn't come set. And with a runner on, so now he's at second base. So now you let Baudouin swing away. He's got to make sure to come set again, or Hicks would get third base. Low, ball one. The Bobcats are a base hit away from winning this in extras. The 1-0 to Baudouin. There's a strike, and he was on the take. A gritty performance by the Hornets, but a gritty performance by the Bobcats to try to come back and win this thing. Outside, 2-1. After the Bobcats went up and down 1-2-3 in the sixth inning, you still kind of thought they'd find a way. It's 3-1 to Baudouin with Brazil on deck. The 3-1 pitch is low, ball four. But again, with all due respect to Baudouin, he doesn't mean anything. Hicks is the man that means everything. And senior Barrett Brazil has a chance to win it here, and he's got a 2-for-4 night with a couple of singles, a line out to left, and a grounder to second. He might be on the take as well until he gets a strike. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch, inside and high, ball one, nearly hit him. The 1-0 pitch, outside, 2-0. Now Brazil can be sitting on fastball here. 3 straight walks by Shepard. The 2-0. Inside, 3-0. Holloman is on deck. Three and 0. Brazil will be on the take here. And there's a strike. Shepard just has to get the fastball over. The 3-1 swung on, ground ball, look out. Flips to second for one, on to first. Not in time, here comes the play at the plate. Runner is safe. Bobcats win. They tried to get the double play rather than just get the force out at second base. And when they tried to get that second out, Hicks never hesitated coming around third and beat the throw by about a half a step. The Bobcats win it 5-4 in 8 innings and up the record to 18-5 overall. And 8-1 in district play. The schedule next week at Mize on Monday, at Columbia on Tuesday, and not sure about next Friday, the game with Hattiesburg. In dramatic fashion, the Bobcats win it 5-4 in 8 innings. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to all the sponsors for making it possible. For producer-engineer Brody Courtney, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us from Larry Knight Field, where the Bobcats have defeated Poplarville 5-4 in 8 innings.